podcasts are the most underrated way on how you can learn business, because by listening to podcasts all day long, you can spend every day between successful people. And if you don't listen to the right business podcast, you will never end up successful. I started listening to podcasts about 2 years ago when I was working for my fitness journey, and every time that I listening to podcast, I had something new, some new idea, some new into my mind that can apply to my life, to my business, and to grow myself. Because as you may know, the more you learn, the more you earn. And listening to podcast is one of the best way nowadays that you can learn business. You can be directly in front of successful people just by doing your daily tasks, maybe while you are driving, while you are cooking, while you are doing some sport, or even while you are working. And also when I have a little bit of relax, that maybe I play some stupid games on my phone, on background I put some podcasts so I can make that amount of time productive, and I am sure that I am not wasting it. And especially if you right now are at the school, or if you are working a 9 to 5, listening to podcasts is a great way, because when you travel from your home to the school or you work, that time it's useless. But if you can listen to podcast, to the right business podcast while you are simply traveling, you will see that you will listen to podcast maybe for 1 or 2 hours every day. And this amount of time, it's incredible, because it's not that you need to sit down, take a book and read for 2 hours, but you do it while you are doing something else. And now for me it became a habit every day when maybe I walk here to the office, or when I'm watching some type of stuff, or when I am working at home, or maybe when I am having lunch. It's a habit to listen every day to different podcasts. And I have here for you the 4 best podcasts that I have listened, and they will absolutely help you to grow yourself, grow your business, and if you don't have one, start your business. The first one is called The Cardone Zone. These are the podcasts from Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone does a ton of YouTube videos, and this podcast is simply the audio from some YouTube videos. So you're sure that if you don't have the time to open your computer, to go sit down, to watch the video, you can listen to the audio while you are doing something else. Because at the end, the audio part is very important in this environment. Because maybe if you want to learn soccer, yes, you need to listen, but also watch the video, how people plays, what are the rules and some stuff. But in business, the most important thing is know the knowledge and information that are said in that video. So by listening to Grant Cardone podcasts, you can spend 1 hour every day with Grant Cardone, downloading their information and put them directly into your brain. The second best podcast is The MF CEO. This podcast is from Frisella and is an incredible entrepreneur. He has a first form nutrition company that is about supplements, fitness, and he is a really tough guy. He speaks really directly to you, speaks about some topics that you see in yourself but you don't see around you, you don't see on YouTube, you don't see maybe some struggles that you have inside you or some ideas. And he is really directly, he say a ton of bad words, but he's really direct about the message, so you can easily understand, and it really motivates you. For example, he said that everybody grew up thinking that is the best, but at the end just few people are good at what they do, and this because of parents say them that they are the best child on the world, that yes, they play really good soccer even if they suck at soccer, and some stuff like this that can really change your mind. The third podcast is the Dropout degree from Josh King Madrid. He's a young entrepreneur that he does personal branding on YouTube, dropshipping, ATM business, and a ton of other stuff. And here you can really see the young people, the young hustlers, the young people that wanna grow, that become successful. And it's really interesting to see the perspective of a 22, 23 years old that owns supercars, that has an incredible lifestyle, and it's really motivating because you can see that even if they are young, they are ahead of you because of their thinking and their ideas, and so you can understand what's the difference between you and between them and how you can reach their level. And the fourth podcast is the Gary Vee audio experience. This is the podcast from Gary Vaynerchuk. And you can find 1 minute podcast and also 1 hour podcast. And it's really good to have the perspective of Gary Vee about patience, hard work, and all this stuff. Because maybe you listen to something and you are sad because you say maybe I am too old to start this new business. But then you listen to a Gary Vee podcast and it tells you that even at 30, if you start something, you are very, very young. So by mixing all this content from all these different people, you will have multiple points of view. But make sure to don't listen to 20 podcasts, because if you do that, it will be overwhelming, because you have too many people that are saying to you different information, because every person has their single way to go, their single key for success. And if you listen to too many people at the same time, you will lose yourself, because maybe one person said that you need to enjoy more life, or you need maybe to be less pushy, but the other person will say you that if you want to become successful, you need to be really pushy and promote a lot yourself. So as you can see, it's really different. And by following just these 4 podcasts, you are sure 100% that you will have all the knowledge that you need in order to succeed in business, and you will not get overwhelmed, because at the end, 4 podcasts, it are 4 different people, and I think that you can manage 4 different people. Maybe find the 2 or the 3 that you like the most and listen to them more frequently. And also there will be podcasts that post more and post less. For example, my main one was the Grant Cardone and the MF CEO right now, but 1 year ago was the Tai Lopez show, and it really changed during the time. So now, do you remember when people say that you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around? Right now, if you listen to this podcast every day, your circle of influence will rise, because now you are spending most of your day with successful people, with people that have done something great in their life, and people that know business. Because yes, you can say that maybe it's a little bit sad, but 1 year ago, during a period of maybe 2 months, the time that I've spent listening to podcasts with successful people was more than the time that I've spent with real people in real life. And as I said before, yes, you can say that it's sad, that maybe you lose your friends, but at the end, it's growth. That period, I was really, really great at business. I was good. I have learned a ton of stuff, and I was happy. I was happy because every day I learned something new in a way that I like. Just walking around the city, getting in shape for the summer, and listening to business podcasts is the best thing to do for me. So make sure to listen a ton of podcasts, and now you're spending time with millionaires, multimillionaires, and you need to spend maybe a little bit less time with the people that are around you, just because you want bigger results. For example, when you go out maybe on Saturday night, just hang out maybe for midnight, and then when your friends goes to the disco, you maybe go home or you go something else, maybe listening 1 hour of podcast, and you will see that by spending more time with these successful people through podcast, you will become better in everything into your life. And if you want to know the 7 traits of successful people, click the first link on the description and you will download my free PDF with all the 7 traits of successful people, so you can check out what you have and what you don't have, and maybe learn something new. And if you want to know more about personal development, you need to watch this next video right here, because I share with you how you can start your personal development journey. I see you there. Just make sure to do a little list, write them down, yes, right now, and then you will work about this in the next year or 6 months. And as I said,